Hey everybody, Daisy Ministries here. My name is Libby.
And I'm Kayla.
And today we just wanted to talk to you about what it looks like to be single and godly and what it looks like to be in a relationship and godly. And this is something that's been on both of our hearts lately, so we're really excited to share with you today.
Yeah, so I'm going to start off by talking about being single and godly because obviously I'm single. Nobody is going to find somebody who completes them. That is the biggest lie that society has planted in us. No other human being can complete you. Only God can. And with that, He does have somebody in mind for you, and He does have a person for you, but not to complete you. We can't sit around and wait for God to bring us this person. I know that I am actually really guilty of that. Because I just tell myself, well, if I sit in the right spot with God and wait for, who He brings me, then it'll all be okay. We need to use our time of singleness to pour into other people and to make disciples and to share God's word and, hopefully encourage others instead of just waiting for Him to bring us that person. God's not going to wait until you're married to use you. Godly men and women are to pursue others in a friendship first. You want to make sure you're pursuing a friendship with that person first. And you can hope that it develops into a relationship, but you never want to jump right into a relationship with somebody. Christian singles have absolutely no business pursuing a non-Christian. Absolutely no business. Because all it's going to do is end in hurt and just bad things. And I know that from experience. I am personally really bad with that. And obviously all it's done has, set me back and set me further away from God and where I want to be. 2 Corinthians 6:14 says, "Do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. For what partnership has righteousness with lawlessness? Or what fellowship has light with dark?" Pursuing somebody who doesn't share your same beliefs is only going to end in pain because it's disobedience. One thing that I think a lot of girls do, and a lot of guys even, we date around, trying to find somebody, trying to boost our own self-esteem. And that's really wrong when you think about it. You're using somebody to better how you feel about yourself. And that is so messed up. If we have a problem with self-esteem, you need to look at the Bible and what God says about you and not what others say about you. Especially not, the opposite sex and what they say about how you look on the outside. A super great example of a godly woman is Ruth. Okay. In Ruth 3:11 it says that Boaz watched her character from a distance. He didn't jump right in and say, "I'm gonna get that girl." He just sat back and watched her character. And it said, all the people in the city know that she was a woman with a godly character. And he liked that about her. Obviously, shouldn't us as fellow Christians be drawn to that kind of character? So Ruth made the most of the place she was in at the time. Verses 16 through 18 show her commitment to take care of herself and her mother-in-law, and she had a great work ethic. She was content, and she chose to be content. Being content is a deliberate choice, and I know that it's hard because obviously I don't like being single, okay? Who does? It's not really that great. But you have to choose to be content in where you are, and that's what she did. Because of her obedience and contentment in her character, she was rewarded with not only an earthly reward, but also a spiritual one, because her and Boaz shared that same godly relationship. It is okay to want to be married and want to be in a relationship. That is a beautiful thing. But in that, we have to also pray that God will prepare us for that person that He has for us, and that He will make us that person that He wants us to be for that person, and to give us a heart like His, so that we can love our husband or wife with the same love that He loved us. So I'm not gonna say that I love being single, because obviously I already said that I didn't. But it's always been a struggle for me. I'm the kind of girl who can't wait to plan my wedding. I love thinking about all that stuff. Like, I know Libby does too. We're the same way. Like, I've been dreaming about it since I was a little girl. And I love romance. But I'm starting to be more content with where God has me, because I know that He has already written my story, so I don't have to worry about it, and I have to trust Him that He's going to bring me the right guy in the right time. I know that He has me in this time that I'm in right now because He wants me to focus on Him. And allowing Him to change my heart and make me more like Him is one of the best things that I could have ever done. We have to love God most in order to love people the way that He calls us to love them. Yeah, I want a guy to pursue me, but I want him to pursue God more. I want both of us to love God more than we love each other. I want a guy who pursues God more than me, so that way I know that God is telling him that I'm the one for him. And in that, God will bless our relationship, and we will both be on the same page with, almost everything. Obviously not everything, because no relationship's perfect, but at least that way I'll know that, that's who God has for me. So yeah, with that being said, I'm going to let Libby talk about what it means to be in a godly relationship.
So I just wanted to backtrack and kind of tell you guys a little bit about my story from how I went to single and into a godly relationship. And so I, in high school, was always boy crazy, always looking for guys, and always trying to find my identity in work and guys. And once I went into Bible college, I started to get godly friendships, and that kind of just started to help me learn and help me realize what it is to even be in a godly relationship, whether it's dating or friendships or anything like that. And so that's what kind of triggered and helped me start to figure out, okay, like this is what you do in order to encourage someone to have a godly relationship. And so that's kind of what started it. And then following that summer, can I talk to you guys?
No.
Following that summer, I went to Lake Ann Camp to work as a camp counselor. And that summer, I knew that I really wanted to just dig into the Lord's Word and dig into what He had for me. And I wasn't going to let my feelings of the fact that I wanted to be in a relationship and I wanted to have the person that I was going to marry enter into my brain, because I wanted to focus on the ministry that God had laid before me, and that was all I was going to focus on. I wasn't going to focus on 10 years from now or 5 years from now. I was going to focus on the now, because that's all that God had given me for that moment. And so in doing that, because I was so focused on like what the Lord had for me, I remember praying that summer and just asking the Lord. I was like, Lord, like I want this ministry to be for you and I want to do your work, but there is just part of me that still aches inside and just desires that godly relationship that you have for me. And literally within a week's time of praying that prayer, the Lord brought Justin into my life, who I am currently dating right now, and we have been dating for about 8 months. He was also a camp counselor, but he camp counseled the previous summer, and he came back to help for a week. So it was totally crazy that we even met, because he wasn't even supposed to come back. So that just shows you how the Lord works in crazy and mysterious ways. And so I know for me, when I was single, I was encouraged by countless books and just all kinds of godly women that were in my life encouraged me to make a list of what I wanted in my future husband. Now, this is very cliche. I know you probably...
I made one of those.
Yeah, you've probably been told to make this list before. I've made one. Kayla's made one. Like, it's pretty common if you're like a typical Christian girl. But in your list, like, just write it out in your prayer journal or whatever you have, what you want in your future husband. And I mean, right down to his looks, to his personality, to like what interests he has. Like, it is okay to, and yes, I said physical part because that is important. Like, it is okay to write down that you want brown hair and blue eyes. Like, that is okay to do, because I know as Christians, like, we often are more conscious of the inward beauty, and that is so important. Don't get me wrong, but it's also equally as important to find someone that you are attracted to. And so I do want to encourage you to not necessarily overlook the looks. If you want something, then write it down and pray about it, because the Lord knows your heart and He knows your desires. He knows what you want, and I can guarantee you that He's made someone specifically for you with those. Looking back at my list now and seeing what I wrote down, it is crazy how to a T Justin is literally everything that list is. Like, I wrote down I wanted somebody tall, I wanted somebody with brown hair, I wanted somebody who's goofy. Like, Justin is all of those things. And it's crazy how the Lord listens to our prayers that way. So just be encouraged by that, because it's a real thing. It works. This kind of goes along with the list, but this is something that you should have in your mind mentally. So when you're looking for somebody to have a godly relationship with, look for someone that you want to do life with, that you want to do ministry with, that encourages you and leads you and challenges you. Now, these are all very vital, because as women and followers of Jesus Christ, like, naturally the man is going to lead in the relationship. Now, obviously you're equal parts and you're doing this together, but naturally the man leads. And so it's important for you to look at the way that they are carrying out their everyday activities, such as, like, if they're in ministry and you meet this person at church, it's important to see how they're leading and how they're doing things, because this is how they're going to lead you in that relationship. And so it's important to be very careful and watch how they do certain things, watch their work ethic, watch how they act around others, how they treat their parents, their friends, their family. That's really important, because that's how they're going to treat you. And so that's very important to keep a watchful eye to look for.
That is really important. Good point.
It's also really important to have the thought that Jesus is always with you. As Christians, He's in our heart. He's with us all the time. And so you need to remember that whenever you're doing anything with each other. Okay, so the next point that I have is consider the other person before yourself. So Christ talks about whatever you do to the least of these, you do to me. So you always want to have that thought constant on your mind whenever you're hanging out with your significant other. Think about what they want to do first before you think of yourself, because that's really going to be beneficial to your relationship. So this is a really cool one. This is actually one of my favorites. So figure out your love language. So this is the book, The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. Very common. I feel like if you're a believer or a non-believer alike, like, you know this book. It's just widely known. This is a great book. Kayla and I have both read through it. We have lots of friends and family that have read through it. It's just a really good book. There's 5 love languages that every person has. And that is words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. And so every person has those 5 love languages. And we each usually have 1 or 2 specifically that we really identify with. And I know for me, mine is physical touch, and it goes between quality time and words of affirmation. And I know for Justin, his number 1 is also physical touch, and then his is acts of service. And so this is a really cool thing. Like, if you are in a relationship, or even if you're just single and you want to read the 5 love languages, I definitely recommend this, because if you're in a relationship or you want to be in a relationship, it just helps you learn so much, and it can show you how to truly love your significant other and how they feel loved. And so
just a verse to leave you guys with is 1 Corinthians 13:4-7. And it says, "Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, and it does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres." So that's just a really good thing to remember, whether you're single or dating somebody, just to base your relationship and your love off of that.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you have a blessed week and a blessed day.
And we hope you liked it. And
bye.
Do you want to say bye like that?
No.
I didn't think so.
You usually say thanks for watching. Bye.
She messed that one up 3 times earlier.
Yeah, I did. It was really bad.
There's something. I don't see anything.
Okay.
Your hair's sticking up in the back though.
Right here. There you go. Okay, everybody. Okay.
Character traits. Okay, we'll restart that from the top. That was rough.